not just to beat a dead horse, but to sort of help make the point that I was going on about in earlier videos about travel broadens the mind, or about the relation between the natural world, the social, and oneself. If you think about thinking, the kind of stuff you and I are allegedly doing now, and natural selection and cultural selection, I prefer this, or preferring something is basically the way that something sticks around or disappears. So thinking is not just a way for organisms like us to function well long term in an ever more complex world, that is social world, but and which now includes the interaction between our social endeavors / mistakes and the world that ends up as a result of that. But it tells those of us who care about this kind of thing what kind of thing thinking is. So I might think, well, this is the natural world out here, the social, or the people that I put up with on this trip, and I'm me. Pretty common sense way of looking at things. But if I try to think of the intersection of those three things, how I'm related to the social and the natural world, or how I'm embedded in this thing that I'm walking around in this particular trip all over the Western Hemisphere, it makes it more intuitive for us to think about thinking as let's cut through here. Think about thinking as a part and parcel of the natural world, and obviously the social one, but sort of a driver, an active force in shaping what will be and what won't. And of course, some of it's conscious. I don't want that. But a lot of it's unconscious, where we just don't pay attention to something, and over time that something disappears. So it's interesting. There didn't used to be all that stuff right there in the middle of this open field. Now you got it. How come? People like me want to go out and set up bright little houses in the middle of nowhere and turn it into home. So it's something that intrigues only certain people. Not everyone is preoccupied with the kind of thing a self, a soul, or a mind are. But throughout history, we've gone to war over those kinds of things, at least, or use them as justifications for going to war, right? So-and-so is my true savior. I'm raised cogitans, or a thinking thing. I'm unlike the rest of nature, blah, blah, blah. And so I'll fight to the death anyone who says otherwise. Odd bunch, humans. Now, once you've lived a life here, or anywhere else, you wind up like this, right? Unless you're cremated or find some other way of disposing of your remains, this is what becomes of us. So a lot of the fighting about the kind of thing a soul, or a self, or a mind, or consciousness is, has to do with whether we represent ourselves with crosses like that, stars of David, etc. And you'll notice that they need backhoes to dig these graves in this rugged landscape. But it's a reminder of how much we share, how common we are. I just said hello to people that I pass regularly without ever doing so, because we were walking by the front of this place, and it does sort of, at least subconsciously, remind you that this thing don't last forever. And in fact, a very good friend of mine, the mother of a very important person in my life, just died today at 95. So, you know, that kind of thing is just one of the reasons to take all this what are we, what do we want to be stuff seriously. Or at least as seriously as we could take anything, because in the end, it's just we're all becoming more dirt for something here in Iceland. Oh wait, it's Greenland now. We're moving kind of fast. dead people. Our relatives, our ancestors. This is the old graveyard way up here at the top of the hill. I'm headed up here to see if I can spot some glaciers. All right. Fortunately, I had sense enough to bring the mic along. Hopefully it's counteracting some of this wind. It's only around freezing right now, but the wind chill sure makes it seem like it's colder than that. It's a good little place. These boats seem to be both dwellings and memorials of some sort. And then right over here, let me see if I can bring this down. Right over here is the church. It's Norwegian in style, but it is, as the flag shows you, 100% Greenland. So if you got what it takes, come on up here. This is just starkly beautiful. All right, let's have a look. See what the heck's going on here. It's a turf house. I guess an early way of staying warm in these elements before they had ways of building that would be pretty simple but pretty effective. Yeah, having to live through these conditions in earlier times must have been really tough. That's much more like it. Well, as I said a minute ago, I did have sense enough to bring the mic, but I didn't have sense enough to not zip the jacket closed over it. So if anything I said was inaudible, then so much the better. This is a observation deck that used to have ships. They had no other recourse. It's quite a ways up. Go and see what the view's like from up there. All right, here it is. What life looks like from up here at the top of the world. Southern Greenland, finally. The quaint but austere port of Paamiut. Yeah, I'm out of breath. It's self-sufficient, as a community must be in order to live in these kinds of conditions. Their own radio tower, their own supplies, their own tourists coming in, really not buying much. There's not a whole lot here to buy. Some enterprising someone should come here with t-shirts or some kind of something that they know tourists want to buy, because Paamiut missed out on a bunch of sales today. They got bigger fish to fry. They live in a place like this, and they're, I guess, used to having a lot of that around. From what I'm hearing of reports in other parts of the world right now, there's going to be less and less of that stuff. So anyway, that's what things look like here. And we're headed tomorrow to another spot to the west of here that's bigger. And we'll see a few more of these 60,000 people.